Hi, Douglas Rosenthal back with you of the Rosenthal Law Firm. Today I'd like to discuss with you the acquiring of U.S. citizenship through naturalization. Now, some of you might believe that this is an easy or simple process, and in fact, overall that is true. However, there are some pitfalls that you should be aware of, and we're going to discuss the qualifications and the interview process right now. In order to naturalize and acquire U.S. citizenship through naturalization, you must have been admitted for lawful permanent residence for 5 years. The one exception is if you married a U.S. citizen and got your green card or your permanent residence through marriage to a U.S. citizen, then it is 3 years. Now, there is something that you also must know. It's not just having been admitted for lawful permanent residence for 5 or 3 years, but you also must have continuous physical presence for 1 day more than half that time. What does that mean? That means that you have to have been in the United States for 2.5 years plus 1 day, or a year and a half plus 1 day if you got your green card through your marriage to a U.S. citizen. Likewise, you must also understand that there is a problem with leaving the United States for a period of 6 months or more during the time that you are qualifying for naturalization. If you leave for 6 months or more, that gives rise to a rebuttable presumption that you have abandoned your permanent residence. And if that time period increases to a year or more, then you might have broken up your continuous physical presence, and therefore you would have to start over again and accrue anew in order to be eligible for naturalization. Now, you must also be 18 years of age to apply for naturalization, and with regard to those times that I spoke about earlier, you can file your N-400 application 3 months prior thereto. So that would be 4 years and 9 months, or if married to a U.S. citizen, 2 years and 9 months. Now, other qualifications for naturalization. You must also be a person of good moral character. And I tell clients good moral character does not mean perfect moral character, which means that the immigration authorities are looking to make sure that there are no significant crimes, and there are issues with regard to crimes and a statutory window period, which is beyond the scope of this particular video, but hopefully I will put it on another video, and we certainly can discuss it if that is an issue in your case. However, you must also be aware that it is not only crimes that the immigration authorities are looking at when they are determining good moral character. There are several other factors that would go into it as well, including the payment of taxes, the payment of child support, and also signing up for selective service for between the ages of 18 and 26. That is a question on the application for citizenship, which happens to be 10 pages, the N-400 application, and you must have been registered, otherwise that could be deemed to be that you would be a person of not good moral character. Now, I would also like to discuss with you several other of the criteria. Let me just take a look down at my sheet to remind myself what they are. You also must have been in the state that you are filing for 3 months prior to the actual date of filing. Now, in terms of the interview process, you may be aware that there is an examination as part of the interview, aside from just a review of the application. That examination covers several pieces. It covers a civics part of the exam, in which you will be asked a battery of about 10 questions, in which you must get majority of them correct. And our office provides our clients with a overall 100 sample questions, from which most of the questions are taken, and you should be well prepared if you know all of those questions. Likewise, there is also a English component to the interview process, and that consists of being able to write a simple sentence and also being able to understand the English that is being spoken by the officer. There will be no translator provided. There also are certain exceptions to that. If there is a medical disability, then we would be able to waive certain of the criteria in the examination, and that too is beyond the scope of this video. However, we have helped many clients in that area, and certainly can help you if you have such a need. Now, I would like to discuss with you another issue with regard to the continuous physical presence. I had a client that was arguing with the immigration authorities as to the number of days that he actually had accrued here in the United States, and the immigration authority takes this very seriously and they look at it down to the day. So you must be very careful in calculating how many days you have been out of the United States if this is an issue with your application. Similarly, when you apply for naturalization, you must make sure and you must be ready to defend that you have received your permanent residency in a genuine fashion and not in a fraudulent fashion, because if it is determined that the underlying marriage was indeed fraudulent, then you may not be eligible for citizenship and you may in fact find yourself in deportation proceedings, and we have heard of such cases, although I myself have not represented such clients. Naturalization is a wonderful privilege. However, sometimes it takes a long time for immigration and naturalization authorities to act on these applications after the interview. If that is in fact the case, our office has helped several clients take these applications and file a mandamus action in federal court to compel and force the immigration service to render a decision on these cases. And if you have been waiting an overly long time for a decision, I would recommend that you contact our office, and we certainly would be happy to help you. Remember, my name is Douglas Rosenthal of the Rosenthal Law Firm. We have assisted many applicants to acquire their U.S. citizenship through naturalization, and we would be happy to answer any and all of your questions. Our telephone number, as I've mentioned several times on these videos, is 212-625-8300. As you know, we're located in New York City in downtown Manhattan, a block and a half from the Immigration Building at Federal Plaza. We look forward to hearing from you. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to call. Again, our telephone number, 212-625-8300. I wish all a very good day. Thanks.